Hello and welcome. It might not be Friday the 13th, but that doesn't mean there's still not any weirdness going on. Today we're going to talk about our first of our many Freaky Fridays. Freaky Friday was originally released in 1976 and it stars Barbara Harris and Jodie Foster. And I never saw this version before. I have seen the one we're going to talk about tomorrow, again with Lindsay Lohan. And so I've always had that in the back of my mind of what the story was. But this was the original one. It was based off a book by Mary Rogers in 1972. So this film was made 4 years after the book came out. And we have a really great intro.
I'd like to be you for a day. I'd like to climb into the dreams you hide, to know the grown-up and the child inside, whatever makes you smile. I'd like to see it, go ahead and free it.
I really did love this song. I thought it was really nice and it set a really nice tone to the film. And it brings expectations up really high, and then they just come crashing down. The first half of the film is really enjoyable. It's not bad. It's the same story where the mother and the daughter think their lives are so much easier than the others, and they just wish they want to switch lives, and they end up becoming each other for a day, and they have to figure out how to change it. In this version, all they do is,
I wish I could switch places with her. For just one day.
and because it's Friday the 13th, magic happens and they just switch. And also really great effects, by the way. I know it's 1976, so they didn't have that many effects. It was cool for the time. It was obviously a different time frame. The 70s are a very unique decade, and Jodie Foster's character, Annabelle, was a typical 70s kid. Didn't really wear makeup, was a little bit tomboyish, but really loved sports and was also 13. That's another change. She's 13 in this film, so she's too young to drive, whereas the other versions, they're older. And the mom is a typical housewife and instead of having a career, so she's just shown doing house chores. And when they switch, they have no idea what the other person's life is like.
What's the big deal about housework? How tough can it be?
And throughout this, they find a lot of respect for each other and see through different perspectives. And finally, they end up wishing themselves back, and that's it.
I wish I had my own body back! Right body, wrong place!
It's not even like they're trying hard to find an answer. They could have wished themselves back anytime they wanted them to. And it defeats the purpose of the plot. And even though it was really enjoyable in the beginning, it just became completely stupid in the second half. It was too focused on the hijinks and the water skiing, and it just became too ridiculously unrealistic. And I know there's a fantasy element of it, but you tell me you expect this woman to be totally fine on water skis, jump out of the lake through a pool, and then go back in the lake again? That was the moment that ruined this movie for me. It's still really enjoyable for the most part, so I would still recommend checking it out, but the next film on our list is superior. We're going to talk about Freaky Friday tomorrow, the 2003 version, so you can stay tuned, and as always, I hope you have a magical day, and I will see you real soon.